do another live tarot reading for you guys. I just want to make sure that my camera is, everything's looking a little bit fuzzy today. The light in here is kind of strange. There we go. It's a little bit more clear now. So yeah, I'm back again today to read tarot live for everyone. I do have a website called OracleDaphne.com. If you do want to book a private reading, I am still taking private readings. I wanted to say that first off. I am still doing in these chats. I can answer personal questions if you send a payment through Venmo or Cash App for $25. Just want to say that too. Just special thanks also to everybody who's been supportive. There's a lot of people who are following me who've been supportive from the beginning. So I just want to say thank you first off to those people also. And I just want to say though, too, if you do want to donate, if you haven't donated, all donations are appreciated at this time. I'm not able to monetize these videos. These videos are not getting seen. So if you can, please share, please like, please comment, especially after it's been posted. There's some live recordings that I've done that maybe only like 30 people have seen or like 20 people have seen. And it's just not really worth it for me to put all this time and energy in. And lately it's been very draining. And so I wanted to say, please, if you can donate, any amount is really appreciated at this time. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, however you want to do it. And I'm still doing email readings. I have put those back up on my website. So anybody who wants an email reading, who doesn't necessarily want to ask a live question or doesn't want to call, they can, you guys can, request to do an email reading. You would send a payment for $75 and then I'd send you the information that you need to do in order to do that. So just want to say that first and foremost. But yeah, I'm going to jump right in. This is going to be a pick a card reading, structuring it similarly to how I've been doing it before. So I am going to pull 3 cards and see what I get. And yeah, go from there. Okay, so card 1, group 1. This is the card. Okay. Card 2, group 2. This is the card. And card 3, group 3. This is the card for you. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. And I'm just going to jump in. So, card 1, this is group 1. We've got, this is the 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles is, it's to me one of those sweet cards. It's very endearing, actually. It's the Miss Lonely Hearts card where, people are, think that they're never going to find love, or, they're never going to date again, or for some people, they think they're never going to have sex again, or, things like that. And, the thing is that she doesn't realize that there's all this potential inside of her to find love. She thinks that it's basically hopeless. She's given up. And sometimes this can indicate like isolation. Sometimes this can indicate just loneliness. This can indicate like being away from someone, or feeling like you don't have like a lot of friends, or feeling like you don't have family, or you don't feel like there's anybody really there for you. And the thing is, in the card, she's got this butterfly that's next to her, and she's got this little critter next to her. And what she doesn't realize is that there is at least one person that cares about her. And that's really, it may not seem to you that's watching, oh, hey, Toya, thanks so much for joining. It may not seem to you that, that anybody's there, or that that's enough. But if you have one person that loves you, that's really all that you should really need. Like in our culture, like even like with friends, it's made to seem like we have to have a lot of friends in order to feel supported, or we need to have family in order to feel supported. And the truth is that it does really help. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I look over and one of my beans is actually about to pop up in my little pot. I thought that was really cool. So I just noticed that now. So those of you, I'm just going to say, because I noticed that, for those of you who think that you're never going to be in a relationship, I yet to differ. Okay. I feel like it will happen. It's going to pop up when you least expect it. Like when I looked over and I saw that bean that's about to come up, I thought that bean wasn't going to happen. And two, the other thing too about this is that because we're talking about beings, those of you who want to have children, there may be a surprise. You know, a lot of times the universe doesn't tell us about love, or doesn't want to like spoil it for us, because it's a beautiful thing when it does happen, you know? So I want to say that. So let me see what other cards I get though for you guys. And again, I'm sorry about the quality and the lighting in here today. It's been crazy springtime weather here in Ellensburg. You know, more so than usual, just very like overcast and rainy, and that doesn't really happen too much for Ellensburg where I live. Some of you, if you are dating, there may be more than one option. We got both the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, okay? Knight of Wands and King, both of them together, coming in from the outside. So those of you who are dating, there's two options. This could also be like your dad or your brother, or two brothers showing up. This could also, for some of you, like this is just that they're going to call you, you're going to hear from them. Doesn't necessarily mean you're even going to see them, but their energies are coming in. So they're going to pop up one way or the other. And I don't know what it's going to be about necessarily. We also have the Ace of Pentacles. So maybe, you know, reaching out to family or something for money, help for some of you. For others, it's just like hearing from them. And like the money situation may be a completely separate situation. Like, yeah, like I feel like there's something about being in contact or hearing from these family members. I actually feel that they're more family than they are romance. You know, I feel like it's family. You know, usually if there's like more than one shows up here, you know, one of the people cards show up together, usually that's some kind of family. And this could also be like, if you have your own business, this could be clients. This could also be people that are showing up that, you know, like for me, I've put, you know, notice out there looking for a potential roommate at some point. I'm not sure. I had planned to move out of this apartment, but I was like, well, but what if I don't? I still want to try to get a roommate. So that's like, you know, potentially people getting emails, maybe more than one. Maybe if you put a post out there, maybe you're getting a response from something. It might not even be like a roommate situation. It could be just like, you know, you put a post out there for whatever thing that you're doing, whatever, you know, it could be a gig, it could be a project you're working on, whatever it is, maybe you're getting more than one response, you know? So those of you who do social media, this could be clients, this could be people, you know, commenting, liking, sharing, you know, all of that stuff, because we have the Eight of Pentacles showing up with it too. And to me, that's the web, that's communication. So those of you who do something similar to what I do, maybe this is like, you know, your mode, the mode that you're going to be in, you know, contacting clients and things like that. There's a money element with it too. So those of you who maybe it's like, you know, you go to work on a job and it's all males, you know what I mean? Like it could be a construction job. It could be, when I think all males, I think construction mainly, or something like that. But it doesn't have to be. That's just an example. I'm picking up a lot of information from like these people. So I feel like whoever this is, whoever these people are, I feel like you're going to be kept very busy with them. I do want to check my live chat, make sure. Okay, Toya's in there. Um, so yeah, that's the thing. I feel like actually the people that are showing up in your life, those of you who are in group 1, whoever these people are, I feel like it's very positive. So like maybe like even if it's family and you've had a difficult time with family, I feel like the family that's showing up are going to be supportive. Or the family that's showing up, there's going to be some communication with them that's positive. I don't feel like this is yelling and fighting, screaming, all that stuff. No. Some of you may be a little bit exhausted from maybe it's too much computer time, cell phone time, or exhausted from communications, from maybe like too many people, too much chaos, too much coming and going. If you have a large family, maybe, spending a lot of time with family or doing a lot with family, it can be very draining. So just, make sure you watch your energy levels at this time. And if, you feel like you want to take a break or you need to take a rest, then I would suggest that. I'm trying to see what else is wanting to come through. I don't really feel like there's too much more for this group that I can really address. You do have the 10 of Cups, which is having the hots for someone. And sometimes this is sex, this is sleeping with someone. The weird thing, and this is the part that I don't really understand, there's this 4 of Swords person. And this 4 of Swords person is resting in bed, or, isn't feeling the best, or something to that effect. And either they could be resting or they may not be feeling that great. And then we have this 10 of Cups right next to it. So it's almost like the thing that's going to make whoever this is feel better is actually having sex or is actually hooking up with someone. And for some of you, like, it's just very strange. Or there's this thing about, I don't know, like, I'm getting 2 very different signals. I'm getting like this signal where maybe, maybe you've gone through a dry spell or a period in your life where you haven't really been motivated to have sex. And then you're suddenly motivated to have sex. I don't know how this is really going to apply for you guys. It's a strange message to me. It's very strange because like to me, the 4 of Swords is she's kind of just chilling. She's resting. She's not thinking about sex. She's thinking about just taking care of herself, sleeping. And then with that, we have this 10 of Cups, which to me is her. It could be like a fantasy, or it could be a dream, or, where she's active, so like maybe for some of you, like, this is like a medical thing where for some, like, maybe you were told by the doctor, okay, you're not allowed to have sex, and then until this period of time, or or like maybe again, like, you were not really feeling it or going through a dry spell, and then you do. I don't know how it's going to apply. It's a strange message, and I can't really fully articulate it, but that's coming through there. There are viewers, I have people that on my channel, like, that have gone through long periods of time without having sex, and so or like they go through basically long periods of time where they don't even meet anybody, they don't even talk to anybody. So like you might be in the zone of like just of not talking to anybody, like literally, but somebody could have the hots for you. It could happen. Like, to me, like, you know, if it happens, it's going to happen kind of unexpectedly, where my God is showing me this. This is a great example. Well, you know, the story could be where, you know, you go to bed like normal and then you get a text. You know, you get a text from someone that's like, "What are you doing?" and then suddenly 15 minutes later or an hour later or something, you're sleeping with them. It could be like a hookup for some of you. For others, this is going to be a late night, you know, knock on the door situation. I think you're going to get a text first. For some of you, you might not get a text. Or it's going to be like thing where someone hits you up. You know, someone hits you up. Maybe you're like, it's late, you know, and you're asleep. And then suddenly, you know, you wake up somehow and you see a picture on your phone or something like that, you know. That could be it. I am moving on to group 2, okay, guys? So, group 2, we have this transformation card. And I want to read from the book because this came up in my, I think this might have came up in my my collab with Jo that I did on her channel the other day. Huh. Okay, so from the book, it says basically it's about an ending. It's about experiencing an ending. And or a feeling of loss or a void. But it says that the empty feeling is a space for something new and better. And that the new is gonna reveal itself. It says pain is something that happens to all of us, but suffering is a choice. To suffer is to believe thoughts that are not your soul truth. Justifying, analyzing, and rationalizing will separate you further from your soul's wisdom. So, from this state, you will blame yourself, another, or event for feeling sad or angry. Focusing on the suffering will only cement the ideology or belief that created it. In other words, you become what you fight against. It says, now imagine what you can create by focusing on all the beautiful aspects of your life and what you are good at. Focus on where your life is filled with things that make you smile. Change starts with you, and all your desires begin with a dream. Where will you place your focus tomorrow morning? It to me, this is kind of like there's a lot of mixed messages coming through about this card. So for some of you, you're going to be going through an ending of sorts, which might not have actually brought you a lot of happiness or joy. So that's the confusing part to me. But let's just say, even if something, okay, so like we all experience loss sometimes in strange ways. So like, especially if you had something or thought you had something for a long period of time, and then it ends, or you can still feel a sense of loss, even if it wasn't that good for you. The strange thing, okay, is like we get used to things, you know? So like, even like I had this neighbor once, and who I really didn't like, okay? But then over time, I got used to him being there. And the weird thing is that when he finally left, it left this sort of strange feeling of emptiness, and I actually cried about it, which is really weird because I didn't like the fact he annoyed that he did all kinds of stuff which annoyed me and caused so many problems. And at the same time, like when he was gone, it was just so empty. And so I don't know, like for some of you, there's something in your life that you're going to end up letting go of, whether that's a person, whether that's a job, whether that's something that's been of value to you, or that's something that's been in your life. I feel like for most of you, you're just going through the process of letting something go that wasn't that great, but you still are experiencing the sense of loss, and you're trying to like process that experience. That's what I feel. Hi Aldo, thanks so much for joining. I'm gonna pull some other cards and see what else we get, but it's a very strange mix of emotions going for this transformation. In some way, there's this energy about looking back at the past with like rose-colored glasses. And some of you like maybe upset about like an ex or a person or someone in your life that again, it wasn't that great. And you know, it's time to let it go. And you'll know when it's time to let something go. And sometimes we let go of things naturally. Like it just like things just kind of like fall away out of our life naturally when it's time. So like for instance, for that neighbor that I had a long time ago, you know, he moved out, and it was actually quite sudden. I wasn't expecting it. And you know, it just kind of like suddenly like that was it. It's strange. You know, it's strange sometimes how things can just fall away, and it just somehow can feel very intense, but I think it's for the best. That's what I want to say. Whatever it is, it's for the best. I think it's a temporary, like one of my managers once said that I didn't like feeling that there's a sense that she said that I felt like there's a sense of uncomfortability with certain things, like, and there's like an uncomfortability. It's almost like that pause of uncomfortability, of silence, maybe when you're talking to someone and suddenly there's this pause. It's a little bit uncomfortable. So like, let's just say you lose something, or let's just say you have to give something up, or let's just say you break up with someone. There's this pause and this uncomfortability that you kind of have to deal with afterwards. And in that pause and uncomfortability, you have to say, okay, like it's time to let it go, and you process letting it go, and you feel that loss, you feel that pain, but it's part of the process, you know? And it's okay to feel uncomfortable, because in that uncomfortability is like, it's just a pause. It's just like a moment in time, you know? And in the pause, in the void, that's the potential for something else. You know, it's not going to feel good when you feel a sense of emptiness or loss. But at the same time, when we determine what's most important, we fill our energy later with things that are actually good for us and that do bring us joy. And I would encourage you to do so. Like whatever it is that does make you happy, that does bring you joy, that does fill you up, whatever that is, that's what I would encourage you to do. I'm feeling a sense of, very much for group 2, a sense of coldness. It's very like a sense of bitterness, coldness, very, very chilly. It's very chilly here. But this is Arctic cold. So this could be a person, like you might actually have like be on like not speaking terms with someone in your life. There might be some bitterness. This could be someone who like maybe you contact or contacts you, and there is bitterness. There's bitterness. And I'm feeling a strong female energy, and I don't know why. You could be watching in male, but there's like a bitterness for a specific female, and there's a coldness, like I'm getting goosebumps. Like it's cold. Like it's cold. This person is cold. I don't know what the relationship is going to be. It could be an older female, so like a mother figure. It could be a grandmother figure. It could be an aunt. It could be a cousin. It could be a sister. It could be a friend that has this coldness. It could be an ex that has coldness. It could be a current partner that has this coldness. There's a coldness that I don't like within the dynamics, a bitterness. Um, and it's sort of like the universe, like the message here. This is going to sound so strange. I'm talking about energy and it's hard to articulate. The message here from, the universe is like saying, okay, it's time to warm up. It's time to warm up, like get things going and get moving and like get your energy going. Like some of you literally need to go for a run. You need to get your energy up. You need to get going. Pull yourself out of this coldness. The universe is sending you an opportunity, is sending you energy to warm your energy. But at the same time, there's all this coldness around you that is, I think it's going to be challenging for you. Okay, we also have the sun coming in from the outside later in time. I don't know when this is. The fact that the sun's coming in later in time tells me that you are going to warm up. It's just maybe going to take a little time. And you might not want to. And you might go through other periods of stress or feeling lost or feeling like stuck or like trapped or like you can't do what you want to do. Or, problems within a relationship or problems with whoever it is that's causing this coldness. I feel like some of you, it's a person that is not going to change. And I feel like the universe is telling you to change. And you might be like resistant to that to some degree. I don't know how much resistance, but to me it's like to some degree. But at the same time, like you might be open, like because there's all this, like to me there's more warmth that's coming in. I do feel like it's gonna take you some time to, I don't know, like my guide said to wake up to whatever situation you've got going. Because right now it is kind of like you're asleep. Like you don't see how cold it is. You don't see, it's like you're in the water, but you don't really feel the temperature. And you could be in some way numb. Like some people go through like periods of feeling numb. I went through a grief period, which made me feel quite numb to things. I lost like taste. Like I couldn't taste anything. The only thing that helped was chili peppers. Like I went and I finally got this sandwich that had these green chili peppers. And I was like, oh, I can taste the sandwich now. Everything else was just like me going through the motions of putting food in my mouth and eating and getting up every day and functioning. And I didn't taste anything until I had that sandwich. And then after I had that sandwich, I was like, oh, I need to eat more chili peppers. Like this is what needs to happen. So I started putting chili flakes and everything and like started to buy more, jalapenos at the store and like, all kinds of stuff. So hi Aldo. Okay, so Aldo's asking about a reading, and Aldo, if you wanted me to answer a personal question, you would need to send $25 through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. Cash App is the $ OracleDaphne. PayPal is also OracleDaphne. And Venmo is probably going to be the easiest because it's just the @ OracleDaphne. Oracle has a capital O and D, capital D. Anybody who wants me to answer a question, this is where, please message in the chat if you want me to answer what question you want me to answer, and I can address to see if it's something that I could talk about in this chat, and then send a payment. Aldo, if you wanted to get a private reading, you would send $75 through Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal for 30 minutes, and follow the process. You want to go to my website, OracleDaphne.com, just to look at the process. My website is super easy. It's like 3 pages. It's got all the links and everything you're going to need there. So I am moving on to group 3. I want to move on to group 3 and see what I got here for group 3. So group 3, we have this fluidity card, which is Andromeda. This is my Galactic Heritage card, a card from my Galactic Heritage deck, which is about mastery. It is about peace. It is about things being very much in a state of flow, but it's a positive flow, and being okay with fluidity. And to me, this is synchronicity, but this is also like a mastery of synchronicity, where maybe you went through a period of time where things weren't in flow, where you felt like you had to force things, or you had to push ahead, or you had to like make shit happen. And like we can only go through periods in our life for so long, like where we never really feel peace. And I think to finally feel peace within a certain amount of chaos, or within a certain amount of fluctuation, is very challenging. I think in some way, like to get to this mastery, you have to be able to say, okay, I'm going to step through the door of change. I'm going to allow things to happen the way they need to happen. I'm going to own my part in everything. I'm going to visualize. It's hard work, guys. It's really hard freaking work to get to this place. Really tough. Those of you who want to like know about a person, if you're going to end up with that person, then most likely yes. Some of you it's like someone that maybe is like an ex, or some of you it's about like fixing some broken pieces. I don't know what those broken pieces are. Or coming together. Okay, so I see. So it's like coming together after a long period of time. So there's something about coming together or sealing something. Because there's like this imagery, and there's like this heart that has a seam down it, and it's whole. It's a whole. Like to me, it's that whole thing about being like when you're a whole person and you're like, I'm doing me right now, and you're like a whole person. That's when the universe sends you love. Because you're a whole freaking person. Not when you're broken. But again, I'm seeing the broken thing. So some of you maybe not really in a great spot right now, but things will heal up, or things will change, potentially within a relationship, or potentially just within yourself. I need to get a sip of my tea. Shake out my hand. I really need something to prop up my phone. Okay. Where was I? There's something about being very like deep. This is like maybe having a deep connection, or having deep feelings for someone. I'm seeing like several layers. Like there's a lot of layers to like a certain relationship that I'm seeing. It's very deep. And you might actually be in a spot where you are very introspective, or you're my guide said very much in love with someone. It's strange, like the words that want to come out of my mouth is some of you are very much in love, but you don't know what to do about it, and I don't know why. You got the Three of Wands as the foundation, and it's a high-low thing, and the Ten of Pentacles is crowning, and she's sitting up high. She's in the sky. She's being carried by this creature. So it's a high-low situation. Some of you may have blood sugar issues, or you may have issues with feeling really like high highs and low lows, feeling really good and then not feeling so good. To me, this is the energy is actually quite special and interesting and different. And this is for group 3. So regardless of any high highs and low lows that you might have, it feels very, very unique. There's just a lot of feelings. I feel like I'm reading for a water sign females, water sign males, or people that just have, like, there's someone in their life that gives them all the feels, you know, that makes them feel, I don't know, like that you, it's giving me all the feels, I'm telling you. It makes you feel like you want to be with that person, like no matter what. Like they're the kind of person that you want to be with, that you could see yourself maybe being with. Lot of feels. Whoever this is, I just want to say, like, I'm really happy for you. And I don't know why, you know, or who this is, but I'm just really happy for you. However this goes, whoever this is, you know, I feel like I'm reading for someone who, to me, has a very special connection with someone in their life. To me, this has a more romance, like there's a lot of romantic elements here, and a lot of feelings, and a lot of just like positive emotions that it's hard for me to really process this. But whoever this is, whoever's watching this, I want to say that I am really happy for you. Wherever you land, however you land, with whoever it is, it's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. You know, we've got the World and the Empress later in time, and I don't even think I've seen them together. It's hard to see. I mean, the Empress is incredibly, you know, abundant. You know, this is like summertime. This is like having a basket full of vegetables and, you know, spending time outside, and the world is, you know, having everything you could possibly want. And getting to a point of having the perspective of having everything that you could possibly want, and appreciating it. Because to me, the world has learned their lessons. Whoever it is that's watching, it's having learned their lessons, you know. I don't know, whoever this is, like, if you have a special connection to someone, I would say this is to me the most important connection you probably will ever have in your life. Yeah, it's hard for me to even really address more energies here, because it is incredibly beautiful. Okay, we got the World twice. I pulled the World from my Marseille deck. You know, the thing about this energy is that, you know, some people are incredibly, some of you that are listening and watching have like a certain buoyancy to you. Like, so like it's an emotional buoyancy, it's a zest for life, it's a wanting to do things and go out into the world. And, you know, there is an element of traveling, there is an element of moving. If you're wanting to know if you're going to move to be with someone, I feel like there's a move that may happen where you're going to be with someone, or they may go to be with you. Like, to me, there's a coming together kind of energy, a moving together kind of energy. There might be some issues around finances. There might also be some issues around, like, family. There also might be issues around some exes, or some kind of heartbreak from the past. I don't know how that would affect your relationship, but there's some kind of heartbreak issue from the past, or some elements of loss that's showing up in this weird past position. I don't know how that's going to affect later in time. Again, the element of the exes is showing up. To me, this feels kind of like a blended family where there's people that have their own issues, you know? It might get very complicated for some reason. I don't know why it would be complicated, but to me, it could get complicated. Not everything is easy, you know, like things in life are not easy. And the energy is not about happily ever after. I want to address that here. It's a beautiful energy, but it's not about happily ever after. It's about making a life with someone or coming together to be with someone and having a beautiful life together with someone. It doesn't necessarily mean things are always going to be easy or always going to be perfect, or everyone's going to get along, or there won't be financial issues, or there won't be any unexpected bills or things that crop up, or health issues. I mean, like when people get together, life does not stop, you know? So like, I feel like for some people, this is where life is not stopping. But I also feel like for some of you, this is like I want to say this, a messy divorce or messy breakup. That could have come before this situation. You know, like I'm seeing some celebrity stuff, you know, like, I mean, I don't even like to really say that kind of stuff on here, you know, but like as an example, it could be like some celebrity stuff where, you know, it could be like a long drawn out divorce, you know, or let's just say, like I have clients who like want to know if they're going to be with someone, but they're going through a divorce, or they want to know if they're going to be with someone, but, you know, they have someone they love, but there's this other situation or this other, you know, maybe this is X that, you know, you're trying to finalize paperwork, you know, custody issues kind of thing. And I've seen that, and I do feel like that could be the story for some of you. I also feel like for some of you, you feel like you're going to end up with a certain person and you're going to be together forever, and it might not be forever, you know? Like some of you really want that. Like you really, really, really want that. And I can't say in this reading that that's the case, you know? So I do feel like there's two stories. There's, to me, the simpler version of this reading. The simpler version sounds to me and feels to me like whoever it is that is in your life that you have a special connection with, you need to me, like see that through. Or to me, there's a, you know, to honor it in some regard. And then there's, and it's a beautiful energy, and it will lead to a lot of positive experiences together. And I feel like it's very positive. And for some of you, it might even lead to marriage later in time. It's so strong. To me, the energy is so beautiful and it's so strong and it's overwhelming. And I can't say that it's, you know, I can't say that it's going to be forever, but I feel like for those of you, it's more simple. The ones that are, it's more simple, where there isn't all this other junk, you know, when I say junk, just more like drama issues. I feel like there's kind of, to me, it's a more mature energy. It feels mature. It feels like it's springtime, like it's a beautiful springtime kind of energy, but at the same time, it feels mature. And then I feel like I'm also reading for people that are kind of moving through a relationship where it feels very much like it could be happily ever after. And the reality is that it's not. And there's another crew that's listening that has some unfinished business or has some issues with an ex-partner or has some issues that are cropping up around their custody or has some issues with their kids, and they're kind of moving into like a new relationship, but they're taking along with them all this like stuff from the past. And the stuff from the past, you know, people call that baggage. I don't like to call it baggage, but to me it looks like baggage. And I also feel like if there's this baggage issue that doesn't get addressed, that it will show up in the future and will cause problems with whoever it is that you want to be with in the future. It just needs to be addressed. That's what I want to say. Okay. Let me check my chat and see if there's anybody else. So I think nobody sent any payments. I haven't seen any payments come through. So I'm just gonna end this reading here, guys. I think that's all that I want to say. This has been a really interesting reading today. Appreciate the opportunity to come on here and read for you guys again. And you know, I appreciate all the love and support. As always, I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye, guys.